Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Space 2. What you see here before you is my first attempt at creating a powerful custom faction. I'm sure there are a lot of really interesting ways to sort of break the mechanics of the game over your knee and make something really powerful and strange, and we'll get there. This won't be our only custom faction game. But for my first dip into the mechanics, I decided to go for something that's pretty straightforward, sort of coloring within the normal lines of the game strategy, but just with the numbers turned up, basically. So, our gameplay affinity, a custom faction is made up of a lot of little pieces. We're just going to go over them all real quickly. So our gameplay affinity is omniscience. This is normally the so fun gameplay mechanic. When we finish researching a technology, we get a bonus to research for our next technology based on the number of players who had researched the technology we just finished. So if we are the first person to finish a tech, on our next tech we'll get a big bonus. If we're the third person to finish it on the next tech, we'll get a smaller bonus, and so on. I believe that it says here a science bonus is given, and I believe that the in-game tooltip expresses it as an increase to your science output, but I think the way it actually works is that it reduces the cost of the next tech, rather than increasing your science. We might be able to verify that during the game here. Anyway, it's good. We're going for a science victory. I don't know if I mentioned that, but at this point probably that's fairly obvious. That's just the one I feel the most comfortable with, and I could optimize around it the most clearly because I think it is maybe one of the more straightforward victory types. For visual affinity, we're picking Horatio. I do not think that this UI does a very good job of expressing how important the visual affinity choice is. From looking at the tooltip that comes up here, you might think that you're basically just choosing a UI skin because it's just like a picture of the faction and one line of flavor text, but actually visual affinity is incredibly important. It affects your ships. Not just the cosmetic appearance of your ships, but each faction's ships actually have different stats and different module slots, right? So I like Horatio's early ships a lot. I like the Scout has 3 support slots, which is cool, because you can do the, two probes and 1 engine, or 2 engines and 1 probe. Both of those configurations are great for early scouting. It also affects your technology. Every gameplay affinity every visual affinity rather, has a number of changes to technologies tied up with it. And there's no way from this UI to know what those are. You actually, as far as I can tell, the only way to know is to create a faction with a visual affinity and then actually load up the game and look at the tech wheel. Which was a cumbersome process. Some of the gameplay affinities also have technologies tied up with them. I think ours doesn't, but there are some gameplay affinities that have tech changes. And finally, the visual affinity affects your faction quest. You get the faction quest of the faction that you look like. So I think the Horatio quest is relatively easy to do and pretty rewarding. So that's why we're picking Horatio. All of those arguments pretty much apply to the Lumeris as well. Lumeris have... I think their ships are a little bit less good in the early game, but they have an easy faction quest, and it's very rewarding. But we just played as the Lumeris, so a little bit of variety, I suppose. Also, I do think the Horatio ships just look cool. So you're probably noticing there are some points in brackets after some of the things. Our faction is bound by a point cap, and all of the elements of it have point costs. Trying to enforce some kind of balance here, I guess, but let me tell you something. I think we're going to find that these custom factions are not well balanced against the base game factions. So we have a home planet here of Jungle. Jungle has high food, high industry output, and jungles are hot worlds. They're hot and fertile. Many of the starting worlds of the factions are temperate. Hot has an advantage. There are disadvantages to the world being hot in that your xeno-industrial infrastructure and your public-private partnerships will be less effective, but where hot has an advantage is that it gives extra food from the basic food building. And I'm not sure if the whole starting system is always the same, but every time I've played Horatio, the starting system has had 2 jungle worlds in it. Or maybe they weren't both jungles, but 2 hot, fertile worlds in it, so that's even more food. The 15-point worlds obviously are better, but I only had 10 points left because I spent them all on this. We'll get to it in a second. Our starting government is a republic because I didn't really know how best to optimize around this, but I do like the intensified law effects from the republic. Super laws are pretty useful. our actual population unit itself. So this politics choice causes one political event type to impact your base population's political opinion more, but it also sets your starting government. And I want to start as ecologist because I want that base ecologist law at the beginning of the game. In case you're not familiar, the basic ecologist law makes it so that you can settle any non-gas planet regardless of whether or not you have the settling tech. We want to just expand as quickly as possible in the early game. Really take off. Also, I really like the ecologist laws in general, but especially early in the game because they give a lot of extra food. And the ecologists are probably the best faction for just increasing your resource outputs. And then we had to leave some slots blank, because again, I spent all our points on this, Adept Workers. This is the population bonus of the Riftborn, usually, and it's very good. The Gargantuan population bonus is similar. This is the Riftborn one, obviously. It does make you reproduce more slowly, and I gave some thought to doing this. Like, it might well be the case that you can offset the food penalty with the 10 extra character creation points that you get out of this. But I decided, again, straightforward, this is a really easy one to understand. Our population does not produce food, so we're going to have to focus on food from other sources, but it turns out we have a high food starting world, and we have a political party in charge that specializes in getting us food. I think we can make it happen. Another thing about the Ecologist Party is that the first law that you get with them, the first optional law that you get with them, increases your resource output, particularly around anomalies. So, for synergy with that, I took Experimentalists. This will help us toward our science victory. We're already going to be preferring worlds where there are anomalies, so this plays into that well. And if we end up with a start where we just don't have access to anomalies, well, that's going to be unfortunate. So sort of throwing ourselves on the mercy of the random number generator right away here. And this is our population collection bonus. Obviously, it's just science and then also science. Pretty straightforward there. And then down here we have our traits. You get to have up to 8 total traits with a total value of 100 or lower. So I went for a lot of negatives because I wanted to buy a lot of expensive stuff. We have 25% more expensive ships, infantry that have 20% lower health, a 20% lower manpower capacity. This one I don't feel is a big deal. We rarely hit our manpower capacity, and it doesn't affect your manpower generation at all. It just means your cap is lower. And, like, if you're sitting at your manpower cap, things are probably going well enough for you that you don't really have to care how high that cap is. And finally, combat rookies. This, again, basically feels like 10 free points to me. When it says manpower upgrade cost, what it's referring to is the cost that you pay when you increase the health or damage of your infantry or armor or planes. That's a low cost that you pay very few times over the course of the game. So this just, like, we're not going to feel this. This is basically 10 free character creation points. What did I spend it all on? Well, first of all, planetary landscaping. Get that food tech nice and early. Growth is going to be so valuable because our population unit is extremely good. And then 30% extra science, 30% extra food, 30% extra industry. Because those things are good, right? Like I said, pretty straightforward. Coloring within the lines, just doing a very good job of it. That's what we're going for today. I thought about calling them the straightforward brain men. I gave that some serious consideration, but I thought it would look bad in all of the tooltips and stuff. And we're going for a pretty normal game from here. I put it on 10 competitors, so there's one of each real faction, and then us over here, the fake faction. And that aside, pretty much the same settings we've been playing on this whole time. And let's go. I have high hopes here. If we get placed adjacent to the Cravers or something, we could have a bit of a problem. 25% more expensive ships is a serious detriment. That's the only one of our negative traits that I feel is actually really painful, but it's also the only one that would give me 20 points. So I had to find those negative points somewhere. I paid an awful lot for all of those resource increases. Oh good, I started recording, so of course the lawn crew has gotta get going as well here. I'm gonna probably close that window, actually, as long as we're still loading in here. Don't worry, I'll be right back. I'm gonna skip this, and then I'm gonna be right back. Okay, hey SB, you're gonna edit that out, right? You're not just gonna leave us sitting here staring at the screen? Nope. No, I'm not gonna do that. Listen, it's not that I don't love you, but it is that I don't love video editing. Okay. So what do we have here? Ingress. Yep, jungle, boreal, ice. It might be the same system every time. I'm almost certain that there's always two jungles. So we started on this one, the one that doesn't have any resources. Okay, I was about to say it looks like we didn't start with any Hyperium, or any titanium, but we have a thing here. This could be titanium. Let's go ahead and search that before we make any big choices. Oh yeah, another thing that your visual affinity affects is your starting hero. Okay, what have we here? Alright, a source of titanium and also a positive anomaly. So that's a little awkward. The things that we want are spread pretty evenly over our entire home system. It would have been really nice if we'd gotten some resources on the planet that has the anomaly. Oh well. So yeah, we found titanium and this anomaly, and with it, okay, 20 geodonics. What is our boost resource? It's blue cap fungus. Okay, or blue cap mold? Something. It's some kind of mushroom. I think we're probably going to start with the drone networks, as we usually do, and then we probably will roll directly into sustainable farms. It's an extra 10 food right now, another 10 food when we take any of these planets. Yeah, I think this is a good fit for us. So let's pop over real quick to the tech wheel and talk about some of the unique tech changes. So first of all, eukaryotic sap is changed. The free population, or the free approval boost that you get from this gives extra approval on hot worlds, which obviously dovetails nicely with our starting situation. Here, what do we get from this? Skyward Dwellings, I think, might be a... Yeah, this is a Horatio-specific thing. So just the ability to add population slots to all your planets. What else? There aren't too many associated with this one. It says this is modified, but... How is this modified? These are all... Yeah, these are all the same, right? Maybe, you know what? It might be a little thing, like the costs of one of these buildings might be different. I don't know. But mostly what I was thinking when I chose this one is eukaryotic sap is cool. But we should probably actually start a research. So, ordinarily I go to xenolinguistics, but it is worth noting that, of course, we do not have access to a temperate fertile planet. Still, we have a couple of fertile planets, and we have a titanium deposit. It's still probably right to get first. It is a big deal. It's a good tech. Alright, we got to decide here. We have 3 paths. So let's send a probe down one of these. And then ships down the others. And we could do that thing where we swap around the modules in the ship design, and then we retrofit the revealer. But actually, it produces 1 probe per turn very reliably. And I find that I usually don't need to leave the planet, or leave the home system with full probes in order to actually be able to explore everything. Alright, so we're probably going to leave this law slot empty. This is the law that that is guiding our settling in the early game. We really, really, really want to prefer planets that have anomalies on them. The Super Tax Act I don't think is super good because 20 approval is exactly enough to put us down 1 level, I believe. I can't remember if you drop out of content at 30% or 29%. But anyway, we don't super need dust in the early game anyway. Obviously, I don't want to crash out my industry right at the beginning of the game, and this will be fine, once we start actually settling. So we gotta find some fungus, because our population bonuses all just simply double when we hit this, which obviously is a lot of extra resources. So, what else? I feel like there's some other thing I was supposed to do on the first turn, and I cannot remember what. Probably we're fine. Okay, that's a pretty good find. A lot of anomalies, a lot of worlds, and a lot of sources of deciduous trees. Not my favorite early game luxury. So, lava, ash, a huge desert world, and a tiny Mediterranean world with multiple moons. So what do we have here? A signal curiosity, an atmospheric, and an atmospheric. These atmospherics are very often anomalies. So this might be an anomaly-heavy system. Honestly, though, this is not a bad world. 665 with the bonus from having an anomaly and also an extra population slot. I think we might just put down here immediately, actually. And we're going to plan to move to Scythe as quickly as possible. Make contact. Oh, we can't actually talk to them yet. Sure, we need that tech. Alright, we're gonna stunt our growth a little bit right off the bat here, I think. I think this is a good world. We should take it. We should take as many worlds as we can as quickly as we can, because we are going to lose control of our government. You know, it always happens. So in a couple of turns, we'll be able to turn this on. We'll rush this. It won't actually take 25 turns. But you can see here on the capital, we are not producing as much food as we might like because we are paying a significant amount of it to the outposts. So we do have to get that done quickly. Alright, let's pop up over here and explore their curiosities so that we can start getting some approval from them. We should probably start running this law, huh? Sorry, this one. 30% extra food output on the outpost. Okay, and it won't even actually be 10 turns, right? Because that food ship will arrive and cut some time off the timer. Okay, looks like we found some population, which is very welcome. So 50 influence and... Okay, well, listen, they still work. This is a pretty bad population unit, but they will still get resources from planets. So these guys have +5 approval per fertile system. Okay, that's a pretty good assimilation bonus. We should probably try to get control of them. Also, you know, it's just good to have systems and planets and population. And I think I'm gonna send this dude down here. It's gonna mean he's in transit for a while. Maybe we should hit Esh first. Yeah, let's go do Esh first. I wanna obviously spend as little time traveling as possible because we want to maximize searching so that we get XP on our hero quickly. And our hero's base skills here, extra food per population, and we have access to Optimal Operations Expert, which is always good. Clone Wares, which is a percentage food boost and also some approval, pretty powerful. And Farming Logistics. I think we're going to take Farming Logistics first. It's a nice big flat bonus. And then we're going to follow it with Clone Wares. And we might come back and get Optimal Operations Expert at some point, but really I'm just focused on pushing growth as hard as possible. Our population unit is so incredibly good that I feel like it would be foolish to do anything other than try to get it going as quickly as possible. Oh, you know what? I should have noted the costs of the techs before finishing a research. Okay, the research that we just finished, so we're showing 26 science per turn, which looks like what we're just, like, raw, what we're producing. This planet is giving none by default, and then 5 from each point of population, plus another 10 here. Where's that extra 6 coming from? Oh, right. Yeah, 30% more. Sure. Okay, so yeah, we are not producing extra science, despite having just finished a research. So you can see here, we get a little indicator telling us how much the science bonus is. And see, it does in the tooltip express it as a bonus to science output, but I don't think that's how it actually works. So what's next? Obviously, xenobiology, also very common in the early game. We might want to pick up off-world agribusiness, though, because we're going to be building for a little while here. We don't actually have time right now to make the public-private partnerships building, so we may as well research a tech that gives us something that we don't have to spend industry on. Alright, let's search some stuff. This seems like a pretty good world. So we found a fusion torpedo module. Always nice. Counterable, but also extremely powerful. Coral reefs, and... Yep, a deciduous tree deposit. Well... and our faction quest we discovered. So we can increase our population to 12, get access to this building that really improves our food output on its system, get some luxuries. Obviously, this is basically free. This will happen. To get extra influence. I think we're going to be pretty dependent on running a lot of laws here, so this is very appealing to me. Or build 5 ships of at least 100 defensive power to get a building that gives you a bunch of extra industry on one system. I tend to go for this because I really love industry, but honestly, there are a lot of ways to get industry throughout the game. There are actually relatively few ways to get influence if you're not pushing into the left quadrant of the research wheel, which we will probably not be doing because we're going to be very focused on the bottom quadrant. So I think actually let's go this way. It's a very easy thing to do. It gives us a building that is useful. I mean, all we have to do is sit back and wait for the luxury resources to accumulate, right? We don't really have to think about this. Okay, so now that those are searched, now we head over this way. And when he arrives, we'll probe bomb all of these curiosities and then immediately reassign him to the homeworld. Okay, we discovered an asteroid field way out in the middle of nowhere. I would have been less eager to grab off-world agribusiness if we hadn't discovered a bunch of free influence in a curiosity. What's up? We discovered ionic... Oh, because that unit of Tikkanen population arrived, and it's their preferred resource. Okay. Alright, so we're just getting some basics of our empire set up here, tech-wise. And we're going to really focus on the bottom quadrant of the tree once we have that completed. So we need off-world agribusiness. We're going to need xenobiology. It's very powerful in the early game. And then, well, let's not think too far ahead, but obviously eukaryotic sap looks pretty good. We do want to, I should clarify how this law works. On any planet where we don't have the correct colonization technology, we are suffering a penalty to our resource output. So we are going to want to still pick up the colonization techs. And again, there's a pretty good chance that we will lose control of our government on turn 20, and it will turn into some kind of weird monstrosity. And we want to be able to keep settling after that point. Alright, so let's get all these searched. Good anomalies, and another point of population. Zvali this time. Okay, that's better. That's a more useful population type. Just finish this up. So plus 20 food, and then another 20 food per fertile. Obviously is pretty great on our home system. I believe, I'm almost 100% certain that you only get that bonus for planets that you've actually colonized. So it will just be giving us the 20 from one fertile until we pick this up too, when we'll get the other 20. Still, it's a huge amount of food. Okay, so our population's coming along, even though we are still sending food out to Ursa. We also discovered coral reefs, and some dust, and dense atmosphere, and some science. That was a pretty good system. Yeah, that's not a bad world at all. I'm a little bummed out that all of the luxuries that we're finding are the same one, and that it's not a luxury that either of our population points want. I guess we'll see what happens when these Zvali arrive. Maybe they'll like it. And it's not even a good... I don't feel that it's a particularly good system development bonus either. It's just a flat dust payout. And I mean, it's a fair amount of dust. We probably will still use it for our level 1 system development unless we discover something like really impressive. And I'm gonna produce a beautifier after we get this. I want to grab Esh, I think, before we miss our window. Alright, so Ursa is developed, and new guys like Transvine. Okay, well, it's not perfect. So if we want to grab one of these worlds, we want to make sure we do it before turn 20, because we'll lose the ability to colonize them if our government changes. But for right now, let's focus on just getting the basics of society built here. Yeah, I really like this double probe module thing. This is really nice. Okay, well, we found some dark glitter. That is maybe worse. One of the few early luxury resources that gives you less benefit than deciduous trees. Listen, the fact that we have access to the trees means that we can make certain kinds of plays that wouldn't be available otherwise. Obviously, the tech to rush stuff with dust becomes more valuable for us. We can turn that into something. Okay, these guys have started paying us now, and actually, we should probably... So we could wait 3 turns before... Or, 2 turns, rather, before praising them, and it'll get cheaper. The cost of praise is based on how many effects you currently have running on them, so we're gonna give that a little bit of a moment. It would have been nice to get that established before we made the curiosity searches, but the timing just didn't really work out. So, we probably... Do I want to unlock this before we really dig into the science hard? Maybe. See, we probably actually want plasma metallurgy too, because we have access to Hyperium. That actually has not been researched by too many people, so we still get a pretty good bonus off of that for our next tech. And then, like I said, multi-thread management is more valuable for us, maybe, because we have access to a lot of dust thanks to the trees. And then we take maybe, like, astrofinance? We have access to a lot of luxury deposits. We could go atmospheric filtration. We have... Yeah, we do actually have an ash planet here. That also gives us access to the luxuries lottery. Yeah, we probably don't need more dust all that badly. Alright, let's do this. That'll unlock our system development. Then, that first system development is valuable, both because of obviously the effects of the resource, but also because that's how you get your spaceport. Then we can fiddle around with our population, make things slightly more efficient. So now I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with this beautifier. Oh, who is this? We have encountered the Riftborn. That's probably fine, right? They're usually pretty good neighbors. So do we actually want to go to Ash? Settle, like... Here, maybe? 6372 with an anomaly? 31631. Oof. We want growth. We want growth more than anything. So yeah, we could settle on this Savannah world. That would be pretty good for us. Or we could come down here and take advantage of this, or maybe this world. Now, you know what? I like Ash. So I think we're gonna. Why can I not order this thing to move? There we go. So I think we're gonna keep this law running until Ash finishes, and then we'll switch over to the green fertility bill. I do want to get this colony established as quickly as possible. Alright, so now that we're done with that, we're about to pick up plasma metallurgy. It would maybe be a good idea to go get the second planet. And actually our industry output is already enough that we can grab these pretty quickly. And then once we have those, public-private partnerships is pretty good. I suppose we should pick up cerebral reality at some point, maybe even prioritize that a little bit. And then we'll open up a second colony right as we fill the second planet, right as we fill the last population slot on our starting planet. Not bad. It's kind of a bummer that we actually have so many points of minor faction population already, because they really are a lot less effective than our main population. And this is one turn off of a cost drop. we'll save up, because we might meet another minor faction in the near future, right? And we want to be able to bombard them with praise as well. Alright, pirates locking us on here. It looks like the pirate world has no curiosities. So I could come back and try to see what's at the end of this star lane, or I could just keep continuing on into the void. I think I want to know what else is nearby. Do I? No, we're going to go this way. I can build another ship to scout this. I don't know that I will, but I could. Yeah, 6372 with the luxury resource. That's probably the right way to go. Population growth. Population growth is our guiding star right now. How much food is on those food ships? 83, yeah, because Ingress is already producing a ton of food. So this'll get settled really quickly. And Ursa is... It is a hot world. All the worlds here are hot. So, yeah, sustainable farm seems like a good way to go. Xeno-industrial infrastructure is only going to be 10 industry right now. Probably not something we need to rush there. I might have researched these techs in the wrong order. Because we don't currently have the dust to do buyouts anyway. Although I guess this also is not, like, terribly meaningful. Alright, what do we got down here? Apparently, what we have down here is a really long star lane. Do I want to try to rush another settlement? We got kind of a weirdly shaped area. Like, we could run down here and try to grab one of the worlds in Edisir, but maybe... Yeah, maybe we're going to stop at 3 before the 20th turn. And we shall see if the ecologists can remain in power. So every tech you research does have a party association. You can see their political impact. So we increased the power of the religious party, and the ecologist party, and the industrialists, and the pacifists, and the pacifists. Okay, I mean, if we end up with the pacifists in charge, that's not great, because their base law doesn't actually do anything for us. Try to explore 5 atmospheric curiosities. You know, we'll see what we see down here. If there are some, I'll take that. Oh, I should be cognizant, too. We should actually look at stuff. So, the first person to have 20 star system improvements gets some Jade Onyx. Being the first person to successfully search 10 curiosities got something for the other people who did it. I felt like we did search a lot of curiosities really quickly, and usually as Horatio, you are in a good place to get that quest, but it just didn't work out for us. Alright, we did this. Easy enough. So now we have access to this building. At this point in the game, 1,560 industry is still a pretty considerable cost. Okay, somebody else beat us to that. In fact, it was the Riftborn player. Ah. Alright, well, we found him. There's a signal curiosity here. Okay, 1 atmospheric. We might be able to get some reward off that quest. And our second faction quest is assign 2 heroes. I'm assuming 2 heroes of level 5 as governor. So we're going to have to wait until we have a second hero to be able to do that. Here we can give him a boost. I think... Yeah, I'm not going to spend any more than that. Get that 1 nice cheap boost. XP for our scout ship. Amazing. Alright, well, we participated in the quest. So, I guess we ought to come back. I don't know that there's a lot of value in exploring out into Riftborn space. Does feel like a bit of a waste of our time. Oof, that's going to take a minute. So I won't be able to grab this before the election. Hold on, let's make sure people are on the right world. I guess we should move everybody to Ingress 2. There's no reason to be on Ingress 1. Ingress 2 is just a better planet. I don't really want to move everybody to 3. The industry here is pretty low. So let's everybody be over here. Is that... How much is that negatively affecting our approval? Not enough for it to even change us one tier. And now that we're on this planet, interplanetary transport network is much better. Can we grab another world? Well, I guess we'll be able to colonize Ursa 2, even if our government changes. So do I want to try to grab this? It's going to take forever. Industry output here is too low to grab another planet. Oh well. We got to put down on some systems where we would not necessarily have gotten to do that otherwise. So I think we took decent advantage of our law. How's things going here? 3 turns, or whenever that ship arrives. What happened now? Okay. Somebody else researched all the things. Well, we got 50 approval, or 50 influence from that, which is handy. So what do I want to do with you next? Probably cerebral reality, right? It's a good start. I do not have access to any polling data. Oh, you know what? I should have picked up marketplace access, I guess. If we're going to be producing a lot of dust, it's possible we would have been able to buy the blue cap that we need to boost our population output. Even more food. Always more food. We have a ton of population space available here. So we should probably go for this. Do I want to go for it right now? Is there something better to build? Like, obviously, this is pretty useful. Yeah, let's go really hard on food, and then we'll try to make this happen. Because obviously, a big science output bonus on your home system, very helpful when trying to win a science victory. I probably want to go straight into eukaryotic sap. It's a thing that benefits us immediately. And it takes very little time, and it hasn't been researched by anybody else. So, we got... I need to keep track of what things appear to cost. So the stuff in this tier says 386 right now. We'll see if that number changes. Alright, according to the last survey, ecologists are going to win. I don't know that we actually need the industrialists as a partner. I'm trying to think, would we be better off with the scientists lowering the cost of all of our system improvements? Maybe, right? I'm going to put my official support behind the scientists. Okay, votes for... Oh, looks like we're going ecologist pacifist. That's fine. The pacifist law doesn't really do anything. But we get access to a new ecologist law that doesn't require us to benefit... doesn't require us to be on anomalies for us to benefit from it, which is cool. Unfortunately, it does cost probably too much for us to actually run it at the moment. So we lost access to that other law. We should switch to green fertility now, probably. It doesn't affect our home system population, but it does affect all our others. This is 22 upkeep per turn, but... I mean, it's a lot of extra food. Yeah, you know what? Let's run this until we can't run it anymore. They'll have to make us stop. And actually, we managed to maintain the ecologist in control, so that gives us the ability to settle some more before we lose control of that bonus. So what do I want to do for you? These are both pretty bad at the moment. We are approaching our population cap here, but we've got some time. Okay, the next best world for growth is probably this one. We are going to take a penalty to our output here, remember though, because we don't actually have this colonization tech. So yeah, let's grab this for now. It's a 25% penalty, so we'll be producing the same amount of industry between these two, but actually we'll lose some amount of other stuff. Alright, I think that's the right thing to grab there. Just make sure we get that. And... you know, it's going to be tricky to track this because the cost of science does change as you research more things. Well, we could pick up PEV scale accelerators. Obviously, we have a linear going with anomalies as it is, so maybe we just lean into that. Plus, I think we have arid planets in... we have an arid planet in Esh, don't we? Yeah, so we will want to be able to get full resource output from that. And that feeds into this, which first of all is pretty great, and secondly has colonized desert attached to it. Yeah, alright, I think we're on a thing here. Probably going to need some ships to come over here and blow up the pirate base on Staterus. These guys like us enough to give us a quest now. Generate 204 science per turn in one of your systems in the next 14 turns. Well, we will definitely do that. This will get that done. 204? Honestly, just population births are going to be very helpful there. It sucks that so many of the miners are being born, though. Given the extremely high value of our normal population. Oh, sure, I should probably build something, I guess. Yeah, we need to make that that influence building. I want to try to get this wonder done, because it will be a real shame if we don't get it, but... I don't know why I'm looking at this. I know what I researched. So we go straight into evaporation inhibitors, or actually, Graviton Research has a powerful building attached to it. That's what we go straight into. And nobody has researched this, so we have a pretty big income boost here. We've unlocked, of course, the other science wonder. Did we unlock any other new stuff? Oh yeah, we know somebody else got that already. We are still leaving on this. We actually might get it. I don't know what I'm going to do with 75 Jadonics. We could make it part of our modernization, but then we'd have to, you know, figure out a way to get a bunch more. And I think, you know, we took a thing to make the dust useful. Let's just do it with the dust thing. Speaking of which, we should probably actually, like, institute some modernization on some of these planets. Yeah, I think I'll let them finish that first. Actually, we'll rush that. This is like the whole point, right? So yeah, we don't have too much longer with that new law, but it is going to produce for us some excellent population. So this world is temperate, which is good for xeno-industrial infrastructure, I guess. Not so good for everything else that we're doing. And we probably need to get on claiming Edisir. 3862, yeah, medium arid first. It does have something unexplored on it. So what would it cost to just like buy a beautifier there? 717? That's pretty doable. Or we could just let it build here. Because obviously the capital's busy. Yeah, that's probably fine. And are we... okay. We have hit a population collection bonus. So now... I believe it is the case that, yeah, we have a bunch of extra scientist political opinion. So at some point we're going to end up with the scientists in charge of the government, I suspect, and actually that's a good thing. The base scientist law allows you to research techs from the next tier above your current tech, as well as reducing the cost of all techs when you are a republic. And I think that effect is dependent on you being a republic. I don't think that's active all the time. And I figure we could get lucky, right? That could become available right as we enter the tier below the endless tech. So we might be able to just skip this whole tier. Actually, we're probably going to break into this tier before the election. Well, whatever. At some point, it will be useful, I swear. Alright, so we're producing a lot of dust now, and we have buyout tech. So I'm confident we will get built the things that need to be built. Oh wow, it's a dead end. Okay, well... where are we at here? We're sort of like all the way on this arm of the galaxy. This is a terrible place to be. I guess... what I'm trying to do here is figure out what direction to shoot probes in to like look for other places to go. I think that we are just cornered. Well, that's annoying. That's not where I want to be at all. Okay, now that we have this, wave function control is great. 25% extra or science as long as you're happy. So if we're going to research this, like, I think going back to get machine bacteria is probably not worth it because it will lower our science bonus. We probably want to just go straight into this, although it's probably better to go straight into evaporation inhibitors if that's the thing I'm doing. Or we should grab this and figure out where the wormholes are, because otherwise we're cornered. Yeah, actually I like that. Let's try to get ourselves out of the corner here a little bit, shall we? Maybe we'll find a nice wormhole. Take us to a better part of the galaxy. Okay, so this is going to be prohibitively expensive. We're not going to be able to take any time at all off of this with buyouts. But we can do stuff like this. I just try to shuffle this along. We have plenty of room left on the planet. We don't need to consider getting another planet right away. So what do I want to do next? I probably want to grab public-private partnerships next. Honestly, we don't really have a lot of science buildings constructed. We're coasting off of the sheer scientific genius of our people. So I guess your job is, in fact, to go check out what is beyond Bellatrix. Bellatrix? Bellatrix. I don't know. Alright, grab that for me. We should probably move people back to Ursa 4. Keep working Ursa 4 until it cannot be worked anymore. We now have 2 planets, which makes this a little better. Still not great. Well, magnetic field generators is good. We really need industry. Okay. We'll do this even though it's not great, because, man, we really need industry. Alright, at some point we will receive 110 influence without trying very hard to get it. That's still, yeah, that's going to be done when we finish that. Okay, so we're going to be at 5 systems pretty soon. We got to get Staturus, obviously. It's a shame, too, because we're kind of on a roll here, and I don't really want to go back and get a tech that's going to kill our bonus. I assume everybody has researched this. Yeah, it has no tag at all. Okay, we've discovered a source of antimatter. Well, that's cool. Probably won't be able to make much use of it at the moment, but it's cool. Oh, our law got cancelled. We were running too low. Ooh, what is this now? Large lava world with microfactories. Oh, wow, look at all the anomalies. Holy crap. This is a system where every world probably has an anomaly. We can't see this one yet, but almost certainly, right? Oh, I didn't get baryonic shielding. Well, we're going to have to go down to a pretty bad research bonus for this, but we have to get this. And I should probably not settle Edisir, right? I should settle this instead. So actually, you are going to plan to stop here. So wait, how does this work? If I reverse these, I'll finish these in the same turn. I assume that the research bonus from this, the lack of research bonus from this, will be overwritten by the research bonus from this, which somebody else just beat us to. Right? This is better for my overall science output, I think. Sorry, for my progress toward the next tech, which is slightly different. I think so. Okay, and you are now level 5, so you are counting toward our quest. We're working on it. We're getting there. What do we want to do here now? We still kind of need more industry, which we unfortunately just don't have access to. So this and this. And here comes our big wonder. Big wonder, this should give us that system. Oh wow, we're still actually not there yet. How many turns do we have left? 5 turns? Okay. Well, this'll do it. The 30 extra science from the simple flat bonus alone will do it. Then we really need to grab this world. God, look at how quickly our population's growing here. This is fantastic. And it's such a good population. Okay, do I want to grab... Let's find out what this is. It'll tell us if we want to grab Ursa 2 here. But for right now, yeah, science. Do science. Get science done. Should we... Actually, I should probably rush some of this stuff. I guess this is only 20 science here, which is not amazing, but every little bit helps. Okay, so we need one more thing from this tier. It should probably be wave function control over evaporation inhibitors, right? I think so. 25% extra science output is nothing to sneeze at. Okay, this thing happened, which means that we have enough influence to be able to run that law for a little while longer. I want that over green fertility bill for right now, right? We do actually have a lot of population on... Yeah, we have 10 points of population on planets with anomalies now. Yeah, let's run the green fertility bill instead. It's better for all of our systems except for our home system, and our home system is growing quickly enough. We're fine. And apparently the lawn crew has gone around to the other side of the building now, and for some reason that is that's coming into this room very, very loud. I'm going to hit end turn here, and I'm going to go make sure the windows over there are closed. You know, I don't think I've ever heard them doing lawn stuff when I'm not recording. One might be inclined to think there's some sort of conspiracy at play. You know what's really crazy is there's not even really anything out there to mow. What do they work in the parking lot? Okay. That loud cracking sound, I have no idea what that was. This chair is, chair's maybe getting a little old. Okay. We completed this. Cool. Let me guess. You guys have effectively built nothing. Great. Well, may as well get some dust going. And we may as well rush some stuff. Why not? So we have here another hot world. 2 points of underdeveloped population. They didn't even pick up the world in their system that that their population type fits with. This is a good world, too. Look at that. 9764. Wow. Like a resort over there. So I've already forgotten. What was the big bonus we were getting from them? Ah, yes. Approval on fertile planets. That's pretty alright. Things are going okay, approval-wise. So we have a couple of ships now. I guess, actually, we should probably just have these ships come down here and blockade this, right? Because the pirates are going to be spawning ships one at a time at this point in the game. We can make it so that no pirate ship ever gets out to harass our other planets. So wait, which system hit 204? Was it the home system? Yeah, okay, it was. We just got enough population to make it happen. Alright, what do we have here? Wow, that is a lot of stuff. The thing is, I knew how much it was, and still I was surprised when I saw it again. Alright, so we found 25 influence, a strong magnetic field, which is a bummer, but also some dust. There was, in fact, a positive anomaly on... Oh man, and it's a good one, too. Yeah, this world is very solid. And even more trees, if you can believe it. Okay, so we are 7 turns away from the election, right? The election happens between 40 and 41. So what up here is really valuable? Ultra Deep Habitats gives us the ability to see all of the curiosities, or to explore all of the curiosities. That's definitely something we should probably pursue. Definitely something we should probably pursue. Maybe, definitely, probably we should do that. Also, dimensional folding is pretty great, except that the F-Reality Institute requires antimatter to build, which we currently don't have access to. We do have access to it, sorry, we can't mine it. I could fix that. This has only been researched by one other person. Like, maybe we bounce for a second here. Let's grab... Where's the... Is the deposit on one of the planets that we currently are on? It is, okay. Yeah, why don't we do this? Why don't we grab Extreme Atmospherics? Also, we will grab Galactic Commodities, because access to the market will maybe allow us to actually boost our population. And what I want to do here is I want to wait until this has 1 turn left and then swap them so that we don't spend a lot of time. Because I think if we do it this way, yeah, you can see it actually adds a turn to the research of Extreme Atmospherics because of the way it affects our Omniscience boost. So we want to wait until the last possible moment and then swap that in front. And yeah, everybody just keep working on making more and more science. For real, it probably sounds like a bit, but there's nothing to mow on the other side of the building. It's just the steps and a parking lot. There's like riding the riding mower, I guess, through the parking lot. Seems pretty strange to me. Oh, Hyperium, cool. And also this event, that's fantastic, yes. Find me a technology. I wonder how this works with the Omniscience bonus. Because that could really screw up our, it could screw up our bonus at a crucial moment, right? Maybe. I don't know. Let's find out together. Okay, now it kind of sounds like they're mowing, like, inside the building? Maybe on the floor below? Something strange is happening here. We definitely... This is the world, right? 66555 is going to be hard to beat. This is compelling, though. Alright, we have the dust for this boost. We definitely would not spend this, even if we needed it. The first ship to arrive from Ingress would finish the colony anyway. And we need that influence for convincing people to... how does this work exactly? Like, we're just getting extra resources out of the anomalies? What is the text of this law? Because they all have text. Oh, you can't see it in here. Okay, yeah, you can. You have to do that. Ecologists, being somewhat spiritually minded on account of their passion for all living things, can sometimes be a little irrational. This law takes full advantage of such a mindset, encouraging the idea that visits to system anomalies can up fertility rates. And it works! Like homeopathy, belief is key to efficiency. Well... I mean, if it works, but I'm not proud of my people. Come on, y'all ought to know better. Alright, get back over here and search this, I guess. I'm pretty happy with this system, though. That was a good find. Okay, let's not forget to do the swap here. But I think... Okay, it turns out probably not to have saved us any time. But hey, I tried. Alright, we need to pick up another world here, so let's grab that. Because we're about to population cap. Yeah, obviously. Grab the world that has the anomaly. Our people do so love a good anomaly. Let's find out what this is. Maybe it will turn out to be blue cap mushrooms, perhaps? Seems, I guess, unlikely, but... Also, our dust output's getting really good. Oh, this thing. This is not a good time for minus industry. The approval loss would bring 2 of our systems below ecstatic, but it might not even have any effect on the other 2. These might be at higher than 110. Yeah, alright, let's take this. Increases scientist political ideology, which is absolutely fine. And yeah, okay. And we managed to stay devoted empire-wide, so we're still getting the big science bonus. That is okay. Okay, not great. Alright, definitely move all of the population over to here. And then let's build some stuff, huh? Probably these 2. I guess food is good. Give me some food. Let's do that. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. Now that we've got this, I guess we should do some modernization. And then... Is it time to get to work on that? I should probably get this as early as possible. We should get this as early as possible. But I really want to pick that up. We could, we could rush this maybe. We have access to the market, hold on. Before we do anything else, let's go to the market, see if we can buy blue cap mold. We can. How much do we need? Currently we have, oh wow, we're about to hit a population bonus. Alright, so I need 19. Yeah, that wasn't too expensive. Bam, look at that. Beautiful. Alright, we'll probably move a lot of people off of Ingress 3 onto Ingress 4, as many as it will hold. And we're gonna pop cap this system really quickly. It is probably, when we pop cap, we should probably move our hero. Also, we gotta figure out, so extra influence obviously is valuable, but 10%, an extra 10% of 8 isn't helping us very much. We don't really need this, we don't really need approval. I guess we just go for efficiency aficionado. We do have 2 hot planets in the system. We should also specialize our planets and stuff, but all of this stuff matters a lot, so let's... Yeah, but it's gotta be worth it to colonize, or to specialize the planets, right? It's such a small change. Or it's such a small cost to pay. I do want to finish grabbing that planet, though. That's pretty important. Okay. What did we discover here? We discovered... Okay, a point of amoeba population. Helping us keep our government scientist ecologist. I like it. I'm assuming this would not be... Yeah, this is probably not a good idea. That's alright. All we gotta do is hold them in check for the moment. And there is our 20-point population bonus. So we're already producing, a really large amount of science. I'm not sure why this is listed twice. I'm assuming we're only actually benefiting from it once. I didn't realize that was a thing I was going to have to pay attention to, so I wasn't paying attention. Okay. Now ultra deep habitats. Thing is, in the election, there's a pretty good chance that the scientists end up in power and we're going to be able to jump straight to Genius of the Endless. But when that happens, we want to make sure that we have just finished researching a technology that gives us the full population bonus, and also, Curiosity Expedition. It's good to explore curiosities. You get stuff from them. Let's get stuff, shall we? As a group. We don't really need this here. We are going to have to pick up another one of these planets. Let's maybe do this in this order. We're going to need that eventually. Remember, as population grows, the amount of food the population consumes increases geometrically, so... boy. It is bad to refuse refugees. Also, I like free points of population. I'm a little worried about increasing ecologist political ideology because I really do want the scientists to take over in the coming election. But I don't think I can turn down free points of population. The approval wouldn't even be that big of a deal. Let's accept them. Okay. Ursa is developing nicely. We should probably specialize these planets, and we don't really have like this gives benefits on fertile, so we don't have a specialization that suits our planets particularly well. So let's just get the one that suits our goal. Oh, I guess this would be a good thing to pick up because we actually do have a strategic resource deposit now. Or at least we know that there is one here now. Okay, I think we're going to go to the election and stop there. I'm very curious how that's going to turn out. Our tech is going to finish a turn too early, right? So we want this tech to finish on turn 41? Or no, I guess I don't actually know how this works. I'm assuming that the way it works is that it applies the bonus, the cost bonus, to the technology you're currently researching, no matter what it is. I'm a little worried that it might lock in the bonus to the first technology you select after researching, which would mean we couldn't start something else and then, excuse me, and then jump to Genius of the Endless. But I don't have any evidence that it works that way. But like maybe we should research something small and like trivial for one turn and then come back like this will get this, because that's a tech we might need, right? Colonize step worlds. Is there something better I could spend this time on? Maybe efficient shielding, actually. Yes, then we'll get this bonus right as we change political parties. I think that's the right thing to do. Only 8 turns on this now. It's really coming along. Hey, there we go. I need those values. So yeah, we should probably move people over. We'll lose some food, but our population generation speed is already significant, and I want everybody over here getting us all of these resources. It doesn't... It is better for us to have actual population here. Actual our faction population. Because of the anomaly. Okay. Did that change? No, it did not change the number of turns left in our tech. Good. What have we uncovered here? Even more antimatter. Alright, well, we should probably send a colony ship over here. And now you can go this way. Yeah, sure. Increase scientist political ideology right before the election. Give us a chance to discover something at basically no cost. Sounds alright to me. Is there anything else we might want to buy on the market? I can't really think of a reason to purchase anything else. We could sell some stuff and maybe rush a building or two. This thing seems to be going alright. I guess, do we want to try to colonize a planet real fast before we lose access to that law? Before I hope we lose access to that law? Let's see, we don't have the colonization tech for arid or lava, do we? Actually, we totally might have arid. Yeah, we have arid. And we're about to finish this colony. You know, I'm gonna buy that out to make sure that gets done. Alright, Alright, here comes the election. I'm really hoping, obviously, we're making some plans based around the idea that we will get this scientist election we're looking for. I guess maybe that's a good reason not to spend a bunch of dust, because we could spend dust influencing the election. I don't know what the cost of our influence events, or our influence actions will be, so why don't we sell some stuff? Just to try to make sure that we have enough to pay whatever the cost is, in case it looks like we have to. We could probably sell quite a lot of this. We're bringing it in way more quickly than we're using it. I guess, like, we do need this for some science buildings, but we would probably sell most of it. Alright, that's got to be good enough. So, throw our official support behind the scientists and provides a strong penalty to competitors, ideal if the chosen party is not one of the favorites, or provides a strong boost to the selected party, ideal if the chosen party is already well supported. I think this is what we want. It'll reduce the vote share of the ecologists, obviously, because that's how voting works. You can only pick one party. But I don't think it's going to do it so much that the ecologists will fall out of the government, so we'll still have access to the anomaly law, but we'll have the scientist-based law instead. That's what we really want. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of scientist votes, but not quite enough, it looks like. Ah, shoot. Oh well. We unlocked the Dirty Hands Act, which is totally fine. But it looks like we're not going to get to cheat our science. We actually are going to have to finish researching this tier. I'm sure there was a way for me to manipulate that enough to make it work out. So, if that's the case, we probably want to go into dimensional folding. We are actually pulling in the antimatter to make this work. And I assume, yeah, nobody else is up here with us. Because our research really has been going quite quickly. So, we're going to need a beautifier. We're going to need some more basic science buildings, obviously. What is the industry split between these systems? Okay, we definitely want to build things on Esh. It's not actually that big of a difference. Also, can we upgrade the beautifier design? Does this thing have more slots? I guess we could put Hyperium engines in, but we could also just put a second engine in. I'm sure that's good enough. Let's not spend any Hyperium on it. So yeah, make me one of these, and then we kind of just have all the time in the world to take over all the planets we want now. It should probably be back here, because this is where the food is. And over here on Scythe, we still have some stuff to build. Okay, we should definitely pick up Interplanetary Transport Network now that we're on the right planet. It's crazy to me how much better Scythe 3 is than Scythe 2 for them, and they were just on the wrong planet entirely. We may as well... you know what? I'm going to leave that in place. I would prefer to put industrial zones on a bunch of my planets. Yeah, and then do these. That's going to be the order of the day for most of our systems, is get graviton-shielded laboratories, and then once your base science output is good, get the percentage increase to it. Yep, you're already doing the thing. You will do the thing. You have something going on here, but eventually you will do the thing. Also, an atmospheric curiosity. That's interesting. Let's grab that right away. And we have enough dust to rush a thing or two here. Like, what... Can we actually afford to rush anything, though? The buildings we're making now are a little bit on the expensive side. We might just have to hold off. How about some of this? 4.5. Okay, we could increase our rate of antimatter gain. That's probably what we will do. Alright, and with that, I think we are going to... we're going to end it there for the day. I think this game's going pretty well. I'm disappointed that I didn't manage to get the scientists in control of the government. I'm not sure. Let me just pop over to the science menu here. We need 3 more techs, so we probably added about 9 turns to our research timing on Genius of the Endless by not getting there. It's probably going to be less than 9 turns, because of course our rate of research is going to go up over that time, so it will take us fewer turns to research Genius of the Endless by the time we get to it than it would have if we had started it this turn. But still, disappointing. Anyway, come back next time to see exactly how fast we can get that down. And we'll see you then.